Hello, hello, hello. So happy to have you with us. So, this is my first broadcast on screen, and bear with me. I know it's been a long time since you've been waiting for me to come back and talk about the goings of ons and the latest episodes. I know I missed a lot, and she's already probably married. Who knows? You know who we're talking about, Michelle. But I will try my best to catch you up if you were kind of MIA like me. And please excuse any excessive noise in the background if that's something that you can hear. I am still kind of, learning my way around this setup, and I am hoping that it goes well. So anyway, let's talk about what's happened. As we all know, Clayton's the new bachelor. Congrats to him. I guess after the season, the episode 6 episode. Okay, that was kind of redundant, but you know what I mean. Um, he won the hearts of many, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we need to have this guy." So now we're about what 2 weeks into his season, and that's definitely something I'll have to catch up on with you all if that's something you want me to cover. I definitely already have my opinions about some things that we've seen in the previews, and this is just going to be an ongoing thing that we can talk about in the next coming weeks. So we'll see how we feel about that. But to wrap up Michelle's season, which we are so excited that is wrapped up and that she seems to be happy and in love and moving in her new home. So let's talk about that. Some of the things that we noticed and we kind of left off on was the last four guys who were left standing, and that was Nate, Joe, Rodney, and Brandon. Now, obviously, Rodney was the one to leave in the week after, I believe, Clayton, and that left Nate, Joe, and Brandon. And so when we kind of whittled our way down, it became Nate and Brandon. So for all who do not know, this is Brandon. Okay. So Brandon was a one of the last two, and he really loved Michelle. I mean, he really made it known that he loved her. She even said that she felt very, very, what is the word, secure and safe with him. And he never let her down in terms of telling her how he felt about her. But for some reason, she just could not, you know, pick him in the end. Let's just say that. And that was kind of sad because I was rooting for Brandon. I was excited about it. I thought that they were a good match. Here's a few reasons why I liked him. So for number one, her dad really complimented him, and he was like, "Yeah, he reminds me of myself. That's someone that I will want you to be with," and that sort of thing. And so when she went ahead and decided to make her own choice and that sort of thing and choose him, well, not choose him, I should say, it was one of those things where it was like, what, who is she really listening to? Her family told her how they really felt about him, and it just seemed like she fit in with his family too, but I guess it wasn't enough. Thank you. So basically, one of the things that was really interesting is she chose this guy. My mom, like, I don't know, everybody was just, all right. I don't know. It's hard for me to get my thoughts together with this. First of all, I'm still getting used to this setup, so I can hear myself. That's number one. Number two, I'm just trying to figure out how I feel about Nate. Okay, so he spoke with his stepdad or his dad, and they had a really interesting conversation. He was basically saying like, "Hey, I really like her. This is a new feeling for me." The stepdad was really challenging him like, "Well, if this is a new feeling for you, how do you know if this is real?" And Nate couldn't really give him any solid concrete reasons why he was in love and wanted to marry her. He just basically said like, "Look, kind of like trust me, like this is how I'm feeling," and that sort of thing. Well, I guess it was enough for Michelle because in the end she did accept a proposal from him. And it's one of those things that maybe we won't understand. Maybe this is just something that they understand between the two of them. But she liked him, even though she didn't really feel 100% sure that he was either all in for her or that he would not leave her hanging. So it was like one of those things where she kind of felt nervous about her fear about picking someone who wasn't really into her and that sort of thing, but she still picked him. So I really I don't really understand that, but I kind of do based on what they were talking about in the season. So that's basically how it turned out. I mean, I don't really have much more to say except I wish them well. They had a nice, generous donation down payment for their home, and so I'm sure they are enjoying that new home. And hopefully they'll be planning a marriage soon. There was also some sad news, as you all know, that in Tasia's season, she and her fiance broke up. Now, I don't know if I'm have to look, as you all know, I cover a lot on my channel about things like this. Now, I don't know if this was something that I specifically spoke about and what I hoped about them um, in terms of their courtship, but it was one of those things where I was just hoping that that it would last. It's kind of sad when these things, um, you know, go to the wayside, but sometimes I really wonder the reasoning um, behind some of them picking the people that they pick. So let's look a little bit into my thoughts um, post this, and we can see exactly what I speak on regarding this whole thing.
Share my thoughts about Taysia and what happened with her in her and she seemed to be very happy. And I actually watched it 2.5 times. That was a little time ago because then since then we had Christmas and the holidays and everything else. So I actually am just kind of going off memory. But when I watched it again, I did see that Tasia's dad was very concerned, and I can totally understand why he was concerned. He just did not want her to um, make a mistake or make a choice out of feeling the pressure to do so. And being that she has been married before, I don't know, I'm sure no one gets married with the idea of, oh, I'm going to get a divorce in, this many years. So I think for her and her dad having those very recent memories of the pain of going through a divorce and that sort of thing made him feel um, very weary in her just going ahead and choosing. And I could definitely see it on his face when he came to the hotel and he was just like, hey, I don't think that I want you to I don't, we just don't want you to. He didn't say we don't want you to go through with it, but it almost felt like that's what he was saying.
So we just saw from that clip that Tasha's dad So basically we're talking about like maybe three bachelorettes removed. Obviously they're broken up, but her dad was concerned, sort of kind of how in this season Michelle's family or Michelle's father kind of was concerned too. Well, the mom was saying, "Look, I don't know if he's serious or if he's really ready for this sort of level of commitment." And despite the dad giving um, Brandon a really good compliment and saying, "Hey, this guy reminds me of me." And the mom saying, "Hey, I want a guy who loves you like your dad loves me." To me, if you put those two clues together, they're saying, "Hey, choose this guy. Choose Brandon." No, it's just too much to go with the one whom your family is saying, "Hey, go with." Go with this guy, go with this guy, go with this guy. Oops, can I get on the screen? Go with this guy, go with this guy. So, you know, that's one of those. Please forgive me as I'm being a little technologically challenged. Can I see myself? Can I hear myself? Okay, I can hear myself. So let's play a little bit more and let's see if we can derive a little bit more from this situation. How do you handle that? This is somebody who you met one way, but we're talking about a major um, thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Just say, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Be a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with that. Just say, I want to be a stay-at-home mom when I have children. Don't like creep into a marriage like, yeah. This was one of the things that was an issue, and I think it came up because they just had different views and values. And not only that, you have different views and values, but where's the commitment level? So it didn't work out. There were some clues by the family, and I just really wish her the best. Back to Michelle. Oh, and also, I don't know. I feel like Taysia and Rodney might date in the future. I, I don't know why I have this feeling. If you remember from the Men's Tell All, they were talking about her breakup, and the next thing you know, the next segment was with Rodney. Now, they are both from the same state. I feel like this was kind of like a prelude to something. This is a prediction. I would not be surprised if something happened between the two of them. All right. So, back to Michelle. I just wish them the best. Brandon was a remote worker, I believe. He was willing to kind of go anywhere. Nayte seemed like he didn't really give any concrete answers regarding where they would live or where they want to live or his flexibility with that. And but now they have a home. Uh, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in Michigan. So that's where her career is. And I just wish them the best. I hope that they actually start wedding planning very soon. You all know how I feel about that. We don't need to go into too many information about these things. And you all can check out my videos and see what's going on there. I'm glad to be back on here. We'll see how this goes. Might have to do lots of editing here because lots of things have happened behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, happy to be in front of with you all. And if I had someone maybe to just do all of this stuff, I don't have to worry about this. They can just talk. Then that might work. But so far so good. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.
But first, I wanted to talk about some things that came up in week 4 of this season of The Bachelorette with Michelle. And the reason why is because I didn't get a chance to really mention it. And it was something that was a big deal. And it was during the WWE Ultimate Teddy Bear Takedown Challenge with the guys. And it was a group date. Romeo, Clayton, Olu, Nate, Joe, Brandon, Rodney. Um, there was some, oh, Will, Chris S., Leroy, Casey, Chris G were there. And it was supposed to be a fun group date, fun, very light, but unfortunately, it ended with Michelle feeling unseen and not being seen. And the week prior, they all kind of shared things during their poems about different challenges, I believe, or something like this that they've had. And this was something that she was concerned about. And it was very unfortunate that this came up the very next week. This was something she didn't feel like she would ever have to worry about, and she did. During the challenge, it was supposed to be fun, and the guys had the opportunity to pull her to the side and speak with her and make those small moments. But for whatever reason, they did not. They were seen with their feet in foot baths and cucumbers over their eyes and cheersing uh, cotton candy. I mean, we all love cotton candy, but come on. When you're on a show to find and date your wife, there's another time to cut it up with the guys. This is the time to make her the center of your attention. And it seems like these guys are just missing the mark. They were just fulfilling their man-child romantical dreams turned to reality during this challenge, and it was just very discouraging for her. It was very hard for her to actually enjoy herself and to really feel like these men were serious. You know? I mean, during a cocktail party, when someone else is talking to her, that's the time for them to cut it up and talk about, hey, let's have bro power time. But this was the time for them to impress her. And instead of rising to the occasion, they all failed. They all failed. And she was stuck there having to take the high road and be like, oh, I'm going to lean in to this opportunity. I'm going to still try to make these small moments with these guys, even though they're acting like they're here for the cotton candy, cucumbers, and foot baths. It was ridiculous. And I really felt for her. And, you know, it's unfortunate that the top 3 guys in the end were the ones who were also partaking in the um, avoidance, the ignoring, and the not pulling her to the side and those things. And at the end, she was hurt. She was very, very hurt. Caitlin, one of the co-hosts, did bring her to the side and bring up the fact that it probably wasn't intentional. And even though she did feel overlooked, she asked her, do you think that they were doing it on purpose? She said no. And Michelle did have the opportunity to talk to them and say, look, this is how I felt. And I'm just going to be open and vulnerable to you all about this. They were very understanding and took the time and said, "Hey, we didn't mean to make you feel this way. We apologize." She took Nate to the side first, the one she ultimately chose in the end and proposed to her. And he said, "I know that's not my actions. Those were not my actions, but I do want to make you seen. You're seen, you're heard, and I'm going to do better." He told her that, well, he actually said that all she wanted was a hello. And that's what she told them. All I wanted was a hello. Obviously, it would be nice if she got all the nice big things, but all she wanted was a hello at the beginning of dates. And for some reason, they just did not do that. So I really hope that Michelle feels seen at this point in her relationship. She is engaged to Nate. I hope that they are able to create those small moments between the two of them. And I hope that he is able to fulfill that void of her not feeling that she's seen, because it's very important to her and in relationships to see the other person. So I wish them the best, but I did want to talk about that. And one of the things that came up was that Olu did pull her to the side, and he was actually in tears. He was like crying. He was really hurt by the fact that she felt that way on his watch, because he felt like more than anyone else, he should be able to understand how she felt, because he has, I think he said, four sisters, and they all didn't feel seen or heard in some point in time. There were times when they didn't feel beautiful, and he actually had to be the proxy and sit in there and stand in there and say, "Look, I see you, I hear you, you're beautiful. Sorry these guys are acting like knuckleheads, but I'm here for you," type of thing. So he felt more than anyone else like, why is this happening on my watch? And so it was one of those scenes that was very touching, and in the end, that got him the rose. That got him the rose. She gave him the impression rose, I think, from the date, just saying like, "Thank you for being open. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for telling me how you feel, and to continue to do those things that help me to be seen and heard, and feeling like I am one of those important people in your life, as I should feel." And so I'm glad that they had that moment, and I feel like it was a very healing moment for her. And I really hope that she chose someone that is making her feel seen every day, because we all deserve to feel seen every day. And I see you. I see you in the comment sections. I see you subscribing, see you listening, watching, and I really appreciate it. And I am so excited to try some new things regarding recording my videos. Please remember to like this video. Please remember to comment. And please share anything that you feel regarding being seen, regarding who Michelle picked in the end and her engagement. And I hope that I see you in the next video, or hear from you in the next video. Thanks for listening and watching.